Coming to the last step in the selection process, this is called as colony hybridization process. Remember, this technique also not given in our NCERT textbook, but this is one of the important concept we have to know, right? See, in this method is called as colony hybridization method. The method is called as colony hybridization method, right? See, in this method, we know this is one of the desired gene. The desired gene inserted into the vector, right? The vectors are inserted into the bacteria cells. The bacteria cells are cultivated, right? The bacteria cells are cultivated. Before the cultivation process, we are doing the selection. So this is the step related to the selection process. Here concept is we are having the desired gene. This is one of the desired gene. So our target is here desired gene. This is one of the desired gene. It's having the double stranded DNA structure. Here we are preparing the complementary single stranded DNAs or single stranded RNAs. We are preparing the complementary strands. Especially for desired gene. Remember, we are preparing or synthesizing the complementary strands for desired gene, right? So we are preparing the complementary single-stranded DNA or RNA fragments, okay, which are synthesized by the usage of radioisotopes. So we are prepared some of the single-stranded DNA fragments or RNA fragments, right? These fragments are synthesized by the usage of radioisotopes. We are added to the colonies. These are added to the colonies, right? See, we added many number of single-stranded radio-labeled fragments, right, which are especially enter into the inside the host cell. For suppose this is the host cell. This is the main genetic material. This is the plasmid DNA, and this is the desired DNA. So already here the fragment is entering into the inside the cell. The fragment is binds to the fragments are binds to the desired DNAs. The fragments are only binds to the desired DNAs. So if the desired DNA is present, the fragments are binded. Okay. After certain time period, we washed out the colonies. Right? So here the desired DNA molecules are there. The desired DNA molecules are specially interact with the radio-labeled fragments. So if we observe, this is the triple helical structure. This is the triple helical structure. So presence of radioisotopes. Okay, means radioisotope fragments. Presence of radioisotope fragments. Our desired DNAs, okay, interacted forms the triple helical structure. So these are the desired cells, because which are having desired genes. The desired genes are interact with that radio-labeled fragments. Then the radioactive probes contain cells are easily identified. Because presence of these radioisotope substances which are emits the radio waves. Based on that, we can easily identify the desired cells. So what I am telling here, this method is called as colony hybridization method. In this method, In the very common process, desired gene inserted into the vector inserted into that one of the host cell, right? After that, the insertion process for the identification step. But the identification step here, complementary single-stranded DNA or RNA fragments are synthesized by the usage of radio-labeled substances or radioactive isotopes. So that radioactive isotope fragments are binds to the desired genes, which forms the triple helical structure. So those the cells contains radioisotope fragments which are very easily identified. The method is called as colony hybridization method. The method is called as colony hybridization method, right? So that is about the selection of recombinant host cells. In the next class, okay, we have that recombinant cells. Okay, the next class or next topic is the cultivation of recombinant host cell. Cultivation of recombinant host cell, right? Coming to the next topic is cultivation of desired cells, right? See what we are isolated desired cells are recombinant host cells, right, or competent cells or heterologous host cells which are subjected for the cultivation purpose. Sir, why we are cultivating these cells? Because we are expecting the recombinant product. The recombinant products are nothing but our desired products. So this is the one of the bacteria. It's having that main genetic material and it's having the plasmid. The plasmid contains here desired gene. That desired gene is nothing but one of the recombinant plasmid, right? This is one of the recombinant plasmid. It's having that recombinant gene, right? So the recombinant gene or the desired gene, right, involved in the gene expression process. Finally, it produces the recombinant protein. It produces the recombinant protein, right? So the recombinant protein is our desired product. So our target is production of recombinant products. How the production takes place, we are discussing now. So for the production of recombinant products, we need to cultivate the desired cells. All of you remember here two methods are there. See, after identification of desired cells, okay, immediately we are not following the huge production or bulk production or very huge mass production. Initially, we are testing the recombinant cells in laboratory. So that cultivation method is called as small scale production. Within the small scale production, whatever that microorganisms we are selected or the recombinant cells we are selected, these cells are subjecting for the cultivation in the laboratory conditions. Okay, the recombinant cells are we are cultivating within the laboratory conditions. So suppose this is one of the conical flask. Within that conical flask, okay, we are cultivating the recombinant cells here. So within that conical flask, okay, there is a nutrient media is present. We prepare the nutrient media. We are added our desired cells, right? See, this is one of the conical flask, okay, blocked by one of the cotton plug, prevent the entry of unwanted microorganisms, right? So here we are cultivating our desired cells. We are added some of our desired cells after the isolation process, right? Presence of these nutrients, okay, the number of cells are doubled or increased. That is nothing but presence of nutrients. The bacteria cells are involved in the multiplication process. So many number of bacteria cells are produced. So more number of bacteria cells are produced, right? after that production process, we are checking the quality and the quantity. Quality and quantity. These are the recombinant cells. The recombinant cells produces the desired product, right? That desired product produces desired product produced by the bacteria cells, right? And that desired product quality and quantity both these are checked. The quality and the quantity both these are checked. That is nothing but one of the recombinant cell isolated, whether the cell producing the desired product or not. Okay, that is the first point. Okay, the producing product having quality or not. Whatever that recombinant cells producing desired product is there. Okay, the product having quality or not, both these are checked. So how much amount of product is produced and how much quality is maintained, the quality of the product, right? So both these are checked. That is about small scale production. Small scale production majorly done within laboratory conditions. Right? So in small scale production, we are cultivating some of our desired cells for the checking of quality and the quantity of the product. Once the step is completed, the next step is large scale production. The next step is the large scale production. Large scale production is nothing but industrial production. Industrial production. Industrial production. Large scale production is nothing but the industrial production. Within industries, we are producing a huge amount of our desired product. So we know about insulin production. We discussed so many times. Okay, here also we discussed about the. Okay, we already discussed about this is a process related to the insulin production, right? So some of the prokaryotic cells are we isolated. That is nothing but E. coli cell. E. coli is the major suitable organism, right? So E. coli, what kind of E. coli here? Modified E. coli or recombinant E. coli cells are isolated, which are subjected to the small scale production. Okay, the total process done within laboratory conditions. Once the checking is completed, if the recombinant E. coli is suitable, then the next step is that large scale production. So the large scale production done within industries. We know about different types of industries. So within industries, there is different types of devices are there. So the devices are using. We know. Okay, this is the one of the device or huge containers, which are called as huge containers. Inside the container, we are maintaining the total nutrients required for the growth of the organisms. Whatever that minerals are required, whatever that carbon source is required, whatever that vitamin source is required, okay, whatever the nutrients are required for the growth of the organism, all these are maintained inside the device. And all of you remember optimum temperature maintained, optimum pH maintained, and all types of minerals required for the growth of the organism, all these are maintained. So all favorable conditions are maintained for the optimum growth of the microorganism. So here, once the optimum growth is exhibited by the organism, optimum product means the more amount of desired product will be produced. So within industries, there is a different types of devices are there. Okay, the very first one is fermenter or fermenters. See, fermenters are the huge containers inside the condition. Okay, inside the fermenter, sterilized conditions are maintained. Sterilized conditions are nothing but there is no growth of unwanted organisms. There is no growth of unwanted organisms or unwanted microorganisms, right? So initially we are following the sterilization technique. Okay, we especially inside, okay, we did the sterilization by the heating process. Once the heating is completed, whatever that unwanted microorganisms are there, all microorganisms are died. Right after that, we are adding that nutrients. Okay, again we are doing that neutral. Okay, again we are doing the nutrients sterilization process. Sometimes nutrients also contains some of the microorganisms. Right, that time. Okay, we are doing nutrient sterilization process, and inside the container sterilization process. So if we did the sterilization, all unwanted microorganisms will be died. Then we are adding our desired organisms. We are adding our desired organisms. See, fermenters which are especially fermenters which are specially indicates for the cultivation of prokaryotic cells. Within the fermenters, we are only cultivating the prokaryotic cells. So the devices which are using for the cultivation of prokaryotic cells, which are called as fermenters. We know about the alcohol production, right? That is one of the natural method, right? So alcohol production, right, done by the usage of fermenters, So here insulin production done by the fermenters, because we are cultivating here we are cultivating E. coli. So cultivation of prokaryotic cells done within fermenters. And next is the bioreactors. Bioreactors, which are also devices, huge devices, which are using for the cultivation of eukaryotic cells. Right? So here fermenters are there, bioreactors are there. Bioreactors for the cultivation of eukaryotic cells. Remember, we are already discussed, I thought, there is an prokaryotic cell is there, there is an eukaryotic cell is there. Okay, which one is complicated process? Which cultivation is complicated process? Cultivation of eukaryotic cells is very complicated than cultivation of prokaryotic cells, because less complexity present in prokaryotic cells, more complexity is present in eukaryotic cells. More complex is there. Okay, the process is little difficult. See, one of the important factor is cost of our desired product. How cost of any product is decided? How the cost of any product decided? See, we are collected one of the E. coli. We are inserted insulin producing gene. We cultivated the E. coli cells. Finally, we produce the insulin. The same gene, we are inserted one of the eukaryotic cell. We cultivated. Okay, here also produced the insulin. See how cost is decided. That is the main criteria here, right? Cultivation of prokaryotic cells is very easy. Cultivation of eukaryotic cells is little difficult. For the cultivation purpose, especially the bacteria cells cultivation purpose, okay, the raw materials are very cheap. Sodium chloride is required, right? Some of the carbohydrate source is required, right? So the raw materials required for the cultivation of prokaryotic cells is very cheap. So the insulin cost also here cheap. Very cheap, right? So coming to the cultivation of eukaryotic cells is very difficult. Here we have to maintain the pH, temperature, minerals, and different types of the conditions we have to maintain, right? Finally, we produces the insulin. Here, the cost of raw materials is very high. In eukaryotic cells cultivation process, the cost of raw materials is very high. So we produce the insulin. Finally, we produce the insulin. See, if both the products are released into market, which one chosen by the people definitely we know which one having good quality and which one having low cost. Okay, so that product chosen by the people. So here both are maintained same quality, both are maintained same quality, but one of the product cost is very less. One of the product cost is very less. One of the product cost is very cost, means highly costly. This is highly costly. This is less costly. So which one is chosen by the people? Definitely we know this product is chosen. Those the products which are produced by the prokaryotic cells, which are the process is very less expensive, then the cost of desired products also less. So that products are chosen by the people. So nowadays industrial biotechnology process mostly mostly depends on cultivation of prokaryotic cells. Right? No doubt about it, because cost is one of the important factor. Right? See, other side, some products only produced in eukaryotic cells. Some products are only produced in eukaryotic cells. We know this is one of the eukaryotic cell. This is one of the nucleus, and these are the genes. One of the best example, growth hormone. See what I am telling here, the genes are inserted into the eukaryotic cells, right? After that insertion process, mRNA is produced here, endoplasmic reticulum involved in the protein synthesis process. Not only growth hormone, you can take any example, right? Other than insulin. Right? Here there is an Golgi complex is present here. There is an Golgi complex is present here. We know some of the proteins are hormones. Some of the proteins are hormones. For their activity, some post-translational modifications are required. Post-translational modifications are required. Post-translational modifications are only carried out by the Golgi complex. The post-translational modifications here carried out by the Golgi complex. We studied in first year glycoprotein synthesis, glycolipid synthesis, right? So some of the proteins or some of the hormones or some of the products which are required post-translational modifications, which are definitely cultivated in only by eukaryotic cells. Only by eukaryotic cells that products are produced. In prokaryotic cells, the products are not produced, because in prokaryotic cells, the Golgi complex is absent. Endoplasmic reticulum is absent, right? So that is the reason. Some are definitely follows, means the cultivation definitely followed by the eukaryotic cells, but some are not. Some are not. So that is the that is about the difference between the prokaryotic cells cultivation and the eukaryotic cells cultivation. Some we have to follow for some products. Some product productions we have to follow the eukaryotic cells, but most of the cases we are producing our products by the prokaryotic cells. So this is the difference, right? That is about that fermenters and the bioreactors. Fermenters and the bioreactors. And all of you remember, one of the important topic is continuous culture. Continuous culture. See, some of the tanks are there. Which are having this kind of shape, right? Continuous culture method, right? In this method, we are continuously adding the nutrients. So here nutrients are present. At the same time, our desired cells also present. And we are continuously collecting the product also. See, not directly product here. We are continuously collecting the desired cells also. continuously adding, the cells are divided. So whatever that more amount of cells are there, they are gradually coming out, which are gradually coming out. So from that cells, we are collecting the product. We are collecting the product. So this is the one of the continuous culture method. Continuous culture is nothing but from one side we are continuously adding the nutrients and the requirements for the growth of the desired cells, right? See, once that growth is completed, other side we are continuously collecting. Other side we are continuously collecting. So this kind of fermenters are called as continuous culture method. Continuous culture method. This culture method is called as continuous culture method. But in some cases, or majority of the cases, not like this. Particular time period is maintained. Maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So particular time period is maintained. After the time period, total media is collected, nutrient media is collected. From that, the cells are isolated. From that, our desired product is isolated. We'll discuss. Again, we have some of the tanks. There is a stirred tank, bioreactors are there, right? Other one is also there. Aeration methods also there. We'll discuss, right? We'll discuss in the next class, right? That is about the cultivation of desired cells, small scale and large scale, and different types of devices which are using for the cultivation of prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells.